Welcome back to the channel. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I've had a good sort out. Things have changed. There's been some reasons. We've had some disasters, we've had some damage, but progress. Things are going to change now. Spring is just there. You could just feel it. The sun is out again today. I spent yesterday, it was horrendous. I cannot tell you how bad the rain was yesterday. I've never known a rainstorm like it. It actually drenched the plot. It was even flooding a bit inside the polytunnel, so I'm glad I've got the bark down. But let's talk about what's happened the last couple of days. So I've had a good sort out, and as you can see, none of the alliums are on this trellis anymore because a rat came in again and decimated my bulbs. There was so much mess, and by the looks of it, he's having a go on this banana plant here as well, so that might have to be moved. But I don't know what's going on, but I've had to put them all up here now, all up the way, and I've actually had to increase the height. Now this is right up into the roof now. Hopefully it won't be able to jump from there to there. We shall see. Hopefully not. But the sweet peas are looking great up there now. All the alliums, all the other delicate plants that they might want to dig in just to be nosy. So fingers crossed the rats now will come in here, not see anything appealing, and just move on. I've had a little clean on the cloches as well. Now if you've got cloches or a greenhouse that's got a lot of green on it now, make sure you wash it off with some hot soapy water or use something like Algard. Now Algard is perfect now this time of year if you haven't got nothing growing in the polytunnel. Do not be spraying that if you've got plants in there, because it will kill those plants. But it's, you know, if you want it to use it now, spray it onto your polytunnel or your greenhouse, leave it, and then rinse off, and all that algae will disappear. But I've just used some hot soapy water for today. And the reason is you want to get as much light as you can into here now. Now these days are short, and they're also few and far between with the sun. But as you can see, all my brassicas are inside here. Now this just gives them extra warmth and protection. I leave these open to give some ventilation in the days, and in the night I just close them up then, just in case any frost comes. Just protects them a little bit. Here, oh, look at these amaze. Honestly, look at these amaze lettuce. Aren't they beautiful? These are the little red and green little gem varieties. I've also got some plenty more that I've sown here. I mean, look at all of them. Honestly, I'm so pleased with all these. And I've also started off my musselburst leeks, my giant Bulgaria. I'm also doing another 3 varieties. And you're probably wondering, why would you need 5 varieties of leeks? But there's a reason. I want to try and find the perfect leek for me. I do love the musselburst. They are very, very reliable. But Clare over at the Farmyard Garden, she showed me some that she grew last year called Northern Lights. Now there is hints of purples and different hues of greens. I was hooked on them, and I actually thought, let's make this 5 varieties. So aren't they beautiful? I'll pop a picture now up. I just absolutely love these. I'm looking forward to growing these. So I'm going to grow about maybe 20 of each, so that's 100 leeks. It'd be perfect. Plenty then for friends, family, and for myself to be enjoying over those winter months. And since we had all that rain yesterday, I came over and I built my Greenstalk. Yes, I've managed to source a Greenstalk. I'll pop a link in the description as well. Go over and have a look. Honestly, you cannot get them in the UK, so I'm so thankful that I've managed to get one. So I'll pop a link to in the description. Go over and have a look, you know, and they do it in green and also in like a stony colour, which is the one I've got now. And also there's other options as well, whether or not you want to have the spinner at the bottom. Highly recommend getting the spinner, because you'll be able to rotate it if you're using it in the garden or if you're using it in the polytunnel or greenhouse, to make sure every plant gets the right amount of sun. So I brought it over and I put the base down. Make sure that you put it on something flat, like a concrete base, or make sure the ground is very, very flat, because you don't want to be rotating that later on and then it starts going like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I then managed to fill up each one of the planters. There's 7 in altogether, and each one took about 30 litres of compost, which I actually added to vermiculite. Now you're probably thinking, why would you add vermiculite into it when it's going to be in the greenhouse or in the polytunnel and it'll be very warm in here and drying out? Well, you water from the top and it all runs through each planter individually, and it will be connected to my irrigation system that I'm going to be fitting in the next couple of weeks. So each one was 30 litres of compost, good compost, added to perlite to give it some good drainage. And then you stack them up, add a plate, stack them up, add a plate, and then on the top then you put the water reservoir in. I'll show you it now, and it's absolutely, it's beautiful. So like I said, I put a link in the description so you can go over and have a look of where I sourced this. This isn't a paid promotion. I did pay for this, so I'm going to give it an honest review. Hopefully it's going to be the thing that is going to absolutely change my growing experience with strawberries and some salads. So I'm going to make a nice tower of strawberries at the bottom, salads on the top. Let me show you around. So there's 49 cells for you to plant into. Now this is the water reservoir that sits on the top, and the idea is that you fill into here, it slowly drops into this one, and each one of these has got holes in that will drop and watering down, and so on and so on. Now they're pretty good. I've put, like I said, I put some perlite in here, some good compost. I'm going to plant, I think, some strawberries at the bottom and some lettuces. 49 stations, which is going to be perfect. I mean, you won't be able to grow 49 lettuces in a square foot of space. So I'm really pleased that they're finally coming over to the UK. They are a huge hit in the USA. I'm so pleased about it. Like I said, I'll put a link in the descriptions for you to go over and have a look as well. There's been a website set up so that they can be shipped over from America and then distributed all around the UK. So if you want one, have a look in the description of this video and go and take a look at them. But I'm over the moon with it. And the best part about it is that it rotates. So it is on sort of like a lazy Susan sort of design. That is about £40 to buy, I think, at the bottom. But well worth it, because you can either have it with the spinner or on wheels if you wanted to wheel it around your patio or whatever. And it also comes with like a drainage hole system here. So once the water comes out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that pipe and have the water that drains out of here running into the bed. So any nutrients that comes out through there will just go straight back into the bed rather than running onto, you know, the bark paths or whatever. It'll go into the bed. So yeah, nothing will be wasted. But I'm really looking forward to this. You don't plant into here. This is definitely just for water to be poured into. But yeah, can you imagine all of this planted up? And that's why I've sown so many different kinds of lettuces, because I want this to be a rainbow salad bar. Now, originally the salad bar was going to be all in here in the start of summer, but it will get too hot. And I think what I'm going to do is once all this is finished, I'm going to put a trellis system in and maybe grow some peas up here at the start of it. And then who knows what later on, maybe melons. This could be the melon bed, because I want to put a big mesh system here that you'll see later on in the season. And I've also been busy outside as well, so come and have a look at what I've been doing behind the back of the polytunnel. So this was a jungle of mess. Now I've sorted out all the buckets, all the barrels. Not sure what I'm going to be using those for, but I've managed to clear this area now. All the fruit bushes that I had in pots and bags are over in the fruit cage now. So now this can all start to be excavated out. All this bank is going to be dug out and filled. The raised beds at the front of the plot. And then I'm going to fit in the compost area. Now I was going to put the door here, but I've had a look and it's not as easy to turn the one side into a door because there's no runner on the bottom of the greenhouse. Maybe I'll have to have another look at that another day, but if not, I could build a door there, I suppose, and have two doors. We shall see about that. If not, this is going to all be planted up. Nice path, a nice bark path as well. But I think this area here is going to be where all the buckets of potatoes are going to be at the start of the season. So yeah, loads going on. And up here I've added some more bagged manure as well to put onto this bed. It's slowly taking shape. So yes, things are being ticked off. I'm going to come over again tomorrow. The sun is out. I mean, I'm really taking advantage of these couple of days off by making sure I'm ticking those jobs off that I really need to do. But let's come back tomorrow. Yes, that's hailstorm. So it was supposed to be really sunny again today, but I've come over and it's tipping down with hailstorm. Oh, maybe it's slowing down. But before I come here, I headed to the garden centre because I really wanted to get some more Charlotte potatoes. Now I counted how many I got and the amount of buckets that I have, and I've realised that I've probably not bought enough. So I called over and they didn't have any, but it's good in a way because I've been looking at Nicola for a few years now and I've been really tempted by them. So it's pushed me out of my comfort zone a bit with my Charlotte potatoes. I've got enough Charlotte potatoes, but it'd be a nice comparison. So I've managed to pick up some Nicola potatoes, so they're another one, they're another good variety. And I also picked up 2 sprayers, one for home, one for here, because they're better because you just pump them on the top for pressure, and then they're good for the delicate plants as well, because I've noticed my watering can over here was bashing around those seedlings a bit, but when those lettuces are first rooting down and those seedlings, you want to just give them a little delicate spray of one of these and your job's done. Now this one will be perfect for over here, and like I said, I've got another one for home. I actually had a voucher from the place I was working in, the school, when I've left that school now to carry on doing my training into another place, but they gave me a nice voucher for the garden centre, so this is what I've decided to spend the voucher on. And I also bought some potato fertiliser. If you're growing potatoes, you're unsure whether or not the soil or the compost is enough, I recommend getting something like this. Just put a little bit of that in the bucket or on the ground and let it wash in. What else did I buy? I also managed to get some Maris pipers as well, because when I went to the garden centres in February, they didn't have any. They'd sold out, so I'd missed the mark with those as well. So I'm glad I've got some. And I also picked up my Old Faithful. Now every year I grow sunflowers. Linda's doing a sunflower grow along again this year, but I always buy this packet here. Now I find it better in price. I mean, it's like £1 more than buying a normal packet of sunflowers, but you manage to get 6 different varieties. So this one's by Mr. Fothergill's. I always buy this one. So if you're looking at growing sunflowers this year, check out this packet. And also my 5th variety of leeks turned up as well. I'm doing 5 varieties of leeks. So if you haven't seen my what to sow in March video, it came out on Wednesday. Yes, the Wednesday video came out. Go and have a look at it, because it'll show you everything that I'm sowing and growing in March and what you could be growing as well. But I'm actually doing Northern Lights. Aren't they just beautiful though? They're actually beautiful. They got like a hint of purple and green. So yeah, I think I mentioned them yesterday or the day before, but yeah, these are them, they've arrived. So I'm going to sow them today. And also I brought over a few chitted Charlotte potatoes, because I want to plant some in buckets early start of March, and they can be the first ones that I'll harvest. They'll grow on in the polytunnel, and if the weather improves, I'll pop them outdoors. But if there's any hints, any smidgens of frost, they'll be brought inside the polytunnel, and if I need to, I can fleece them as well. So that's the plan. Oh, and here's the sun. What is going on with this weather? We've had wind, torrential rains, hailstorm, and now the sun's back. So maybe I can carry on with my jobs today. Maybe. So I've fitted up this water tank here now, which I've got 2 of these. Now I might put another one over there. I'm holding out a minute because that's where the water system's going to be, and I want to see how much space I need for that. Plus I've got my hose pipe to fit in here as well. There's so much to fit into this polytunnel that I still haven't done, but this is sure, because the best thing to do if you've got a greenhouse or a polytunnel, you've got a bit of space. Now they're perfect outside because you can connect them to the guttering. However, this will have the same temperature as the tunnel, rather than it being outside water and then it shocks the little seedlings. So this water is acclimatized to. I've got a hole here which I did use to have a guttering through. I just put up a pot there, stop any bugs and any rubbish going inside there. This now will be perfect here, because I'll have enough water in here now to water the seedlings and not shock the plants, and I can just top it up every now and again from outside, and yeah, just keep a steady flow of water in here through spring. And I won't need it in summer, because obviously I'll have all the irrigation fitted in, but for now that can stay there until I've got the irrigation systems fitted up, because I've got a few plans to have sprayers on the top, watering underneath. There's loads going on. I've been talking to Harvest about this, and we've modified it a little bit to adapt to what I need, and I'm excited to show you all this real great system of watering your polytunnel without even have to worry about it. So stay tuned for that video. And I'm thinking about fitting up the irrigation system to this Greenstalk here. Now it's fantastic that I can grow 49 lettuces or 49 plants within a square foot of space. And this was from Rooted in Bolton. I'll pop a link to this, like I mentioned, in the description. So hopefully now these will become one thing in the UK that could problem solve if you've got like a patio area, or you want to grow a large amount of something but you haven't got the space. Now I cannot wait to be growing into this. I mean, I'm excited to try it out. So it's stopped from hailstorming to now intermittently raining. So the ground is all wet and boggy. So it's actually stopping me from carrying on with this project at the back of the plot. But I'm just gonna have to pick my battles, and in the next couple of days, hopefully I can pick the right days where there's loads of sun so I can carry on with this. But yeah, the joys of gardening, eh? So today is the day I'm gonna actually tackle this bed. I think I'm gonna actually dig them all out. I'm really tempted just to go with the golden raspberries this year, and maybe just plant a few of the red ones in some buckets or something, and we'll have a go about that. But yeah, I think it's time. I mean, these have been here for donkey's years, but yeah, it's time to get them out. Ow! Oh. See what I mean? The sun comes out, it leads you into a false sense of security, and then back to the drawing board. So I'm a little bit worried about our little visitor at the moment in the night time. That rat or rats. So I think what's happened is that there's a lot of work going on in the fields behind as well due to that piling. I think maybe that's disturbed them and brought them here, because I've never had no problem with rats in the greenhouse, but for some reason this year they are becoming a bit of a pest. So I'm putting some mesh over the top of these new potatoes. Now earlier on you might have seen me plant them up. I put 2 with just normal compost, which have got a lot of feed in it anyway. And I also use that potato feed in 2 buckets as well, because I want to see whether or not it makes a difference, you know, especially at the start. So yeah, it's a little bit of trial. I do like a trial. So I'm going to put this around here now. Hopefully this will deter it a little bit, so that I don't just think, oh, I'll just have a little rummage through and steal a tuber, because I don't want that to happen and then I end up with hardly any potatoes. So I've never had to have a defense against the dark rats before, but I might put like a brick or a piece of wood across the top of there now just to keep that down, but fingers crossed. So I've got these mushroom crates now. I think that might do it. Pop a brick on as well. Oh, this better work, because I will not be amused if I come over and the rat has got in there. So you can only do your best, I suppose, and just pray that it works. Now, I don't care what anyone says, you can never have enough house bricks on an allotment for putting nets down and for building paths and just weighing things down. Fingers crossed. So if you can guess some of these mushroom crates, honestly, I'd advise you to grab as many as you can. I get these from like a local vegan restaurant. They're always using mushrooms there, so they were happy for me to just take them away, because they can actually, sadly, be recycled. So to be used for harvest and also for stacking up, and I even put plants in there as well. Sometimes I put seedlings in there and then stack on top, because at the time when you're germinating you don't really need the light then, so they're perfect to fit inside there, and then stack another one on top for space saving. So, and also to just put some tools in, and also some like clips and whatnot. So they're handy to get if you can get them for free, and obviously to reuse them because they can be recycled. So yeah, grab yourself some mushroom trays, because they're handy as well when you want to give away some harvest to a friend and you don't worry if it doesn't come back. So last autumn I sowed some foxgloves. Now these are for the pond area. Now I will have some come up from last year, but these are to successionally sow them just in case they haven't reseeded into the bark area over there. So with foxgloves you need like a good 2 years, so you sow and then you wait. So hopefully the ones that I sowed from last year that have been planted out this year, I should have a nice, fingers crossed, a nice flurry of foxgloves around the pond. Now if you've got pets or children, I wouldn't advise these because they are toxic, but for the pond area around the allotment, I'm the only one that goes on this, so they're good for that, and plus they're great for the wildlife. And I've planted up the first 3 layers of the Greenstalk now with some strawberries. I'm tempted to do a 4th, but I think the rest of this will be lettuces. So yes, it's coming along nicely now. And I've also planted up 10 of the hanging baskets of strawberries. Some over here. Now I was going to go all the way down the one side. Now I'm a little bit worried that rats might jump onto them off this and then get over, because this is closer to this. So I'm trying to be mindful to keep the polytunnel sides a little bit empty until I get rid of all these plants up here. So I am being mindful, but yes, 3 strawberries in one of these is perfect. I have some beautiful early strawberries. So I'm hoping with all these hanging baskets and this now, I should have a lovely stock of strawberries in the summer. I've also hoed these 2 beds, removed the net, so if any birds want to come down now and dig through to look for any bugs and grubs, then they're welcome to them in this area. I'm not worried about these now. That Swede there, look how huge it is. but that's obviously too woody to harvest now. But the other ones will be good to go now for the next couple of weeks. But this is ready to put now a nice soil conditioner on top, some nice compost or mulch, and then these two then will be good to go then, ready for spring. And then this one will be the last one that I'll do now in a couple of weeks time. So the raspberries are taken out, so I have put the red ones into buckets, and if any other plot holders want them, they're welcome to them. But I've only planted up the golden ones in the fruit cage for now. So I've got a double row of raspberries here. Now I am going to be building a framework to hold all of these in, because obviously the wind comes up this site, so that'll be in a future date. I've got over there a nice red gooseberry. Now they're the sweetest gooseberries. And then all the way around the sides then I've got white currants, red currants, black currants, jostaberries, another gooseberry here which I think is a green one. That was actually a pruning I took off another plant, and I just disregarded it, and it just happened to root, and yeah, I feel like I should give it a chance. And over here I've got my 5 buckets as well of my blueberries. I will top dress them with some ericaceous compost because they like acidic soil, and I had some beautiful blueberries from here last year, so I'm hoping this year I'll get even more. So yes, the fruit cage is all planted up now. I've still got a little bit of space here. This isn't staying, I just got it in here just for storage at the moment. But yes, I feel like I'm ticking off all the major jobs now, because the fruit cage was empty for so long. But it feels great now that they're all in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll get some beautiful fruit from it this year. I'm Danny, and this is Grow Up.